Okay, sorry about that. So, to look at our agenda for today, we're going to look at customer service, IT as a service, my particular department at the Home Depot, which is infrastructure business intelligence. We're going to look at building out a center of excellence that's called a COE. We'll look at where is Home Depot in their analytics journey. In this context, when I speak of Home Depot, because we have several other departments that are doing analytics, I am talking about my specific team, which is infrastructure business intelligence. And then I want to wrap up with a dashboard showcase for you to show how we are providing value-driven analytics. So let's take a look at customer service. And what I want to do is I want to start out by asking a question. What does every company have in common? And again, that question is, what does every company have in common? The answer is customers and consumers. However, according to the Jabian Journal, what every company doesn't have in common is a focus on customer experience. So let's examine a few more questions. As it relates to your customers, are you focusing on the right thing? Have you assessed what the real value is of providing bad customer service? And are you focusing on the value of the transaction or the value of the relationship? And if you ask most people or ask a lot of people, what do they think is the most important thing that a CEO or a leader can do for his or her company? You might get answers such as improve the stock price, be a good spokesperson, or be a good leader. But I think all of that really pales in comparison to a leader's true first duty, and that is to understand their customer experience. And that also comes down to all of us who are providing services or for providing things for our customers. Our true first duty is to understand our customer and their experience. Now at the Home Depot, our core values are our driving principles for how we do business and how we make decisions. And one of our core values is excellent customer service. And one thing that every leader should do is to understand his or her customer, like I said before, and the customer experience, because without that information, you're just simply guessing. And let's face it, if we're guessing about what it is that our customers truly want, then we stand a very good chance of delivering something that has no value. And on top of that, we have probably just wasted our time, we've wasted our money, and we probably have delivered something that our customers either can't or won't use. At the Home Depot, we also recognize that our customers are the core of our business. And we're just like everyone else, though, in that our customers' expectations are continually and constantly rising. So we have to make sure that we're listening to our customers if we want to remain competitive, if we want to maintain our brand and retain customer loyalty. And as a successful company, we have to make sure that we are delivering the most convenient experience and the best value. And this at Home Depot is known as our Orange Promise. So I believe that this quote from one of our former CEOs says it all. And this was from Frank Blake. He said, if you take care of your customers, take care of your associates, everything else will take care of itself. So in keeping with the core value of providing excellent customer service and to go on a mission that we have at Home Depot to be one Home Depot, my division that I work for, which is infrastructure technology, we set out on a path also to rebrand ourselves. And we are now known as Infrastructure of One, and we are the foundation for innovation. So who are we? Of course, we are comprised of technology associates. We provide over 19 products, delivering 60 services, and we support, of course, all of our external customers, as well as over 450,000 associates. We support over 2,200 stores, and we support over 900,000 devices. So when we look at Infrastructure of One, our landscape across the enterprise, our product teams are continuously innovating and providing and meeting the needs of our customers, both internally and externally. So let's take a look at IT as a service. And you may be asking, why did we decide to change, or why did we make this change? Typically, If you are operating as an order taker, it's very tactical in nature, and a lot of times it's very reactive. As opposed to operating your IT environment as a service provider, which is very strategic and innovative in nature, we knew that we had to shift our focus from being an order taker into becoming a service provider so that we could also be a strategic partner and help with the overall strategies of the company. So traditionally, information technology has been viewed as a business support function that helped to increase efficiencies and reduce costs. Also, over the past several years, that paradigm has shifted, and businesses now are looking more towards IT to provide a service and to help technology delivery methods that are very critical to the success of the business. And today, IT applications and processes, they form the lifeline or the foundation of any business, and as such, IT is viewed as now a very critical component of business strategy rather than simply being relegated as a support function. So in order for us to operate as a service provider, we set out goals, and our goals are, number one, to become a strategic delivery organization that's optimized to deliver critical services to the business faster, to respond effectively and efficiently to our customers' expectations of technology experiences, to enable and strengthen the Home Depot's competitive edge, to ramp up our agility to accelerate innovation, to create a culture that delivers value, and we want to make sure that we're providing high quality, user-friendly technology at a lower cost. So we want to make sure that we're reducing our TCO, which is our total cost of ownership. Now we'll take a look at my internal team, which is Infrastructure Business Intelligence. And shortly after our team was formed, we started in about the October of 2016. So in order to also participate in the vision of becoming one Home Depot, we created our mission statement. And our mission statement is to provide best-in-class information delivery that empowers our customers to achieve strategic objectives by enabling data-driven decisions to enhance their products and services and to drive an exceptional customer experience. Okay, so I know that's a mouthful. I don't even have it memorized. I had to read it. But what we really wanted to do was make sure that we were being a service provider to our customers. So we set out our own team goals. And those are to deliver information that drives intelligent business decisions with data. We wanted to make sure that we're turning metrics into compelling business stories to effectively communicate to the business the challenge of IT. And we want to make sure that we are focusing on the right metrics. So a lot of times as technology professionals, it could be very easy for us to get caught up in the systems and the processes and the minute details. So I found this quote to be very profound, and it was by Bruce Robertson, who is the president and distinguished analyst with the Gartner Research. So he said, CIOs need to become better storytellers to become better persuaders. Business people need to see the value and the results in compelling ways. So when I attended my first Tableau conference, which was in 2017, and I had been doing data analytics for a little less than a year, I attended a session on building out a center of excellence, which is called a COE. And so that for me was like my aha moment. It started showing me everything that we were trying to do as a data analytics department. And that session was conducted by Michael Cox, who is an engineer with Tableau. So I'm just going to cover very briefly the key points to building out a center of excellence. And I would encourage you, if you would like more information, his sessions, he did that both in 2017 and 18, and you can find those out on YouTube. So in building out a center of excellence, the first key point is to build a stable infrastructure. Number two is you want to make sure that you have data governance. You want to be able to change the culture, build out useful analytics, And then finally, enable self-service. So for our team at the Home Depot, we were very fortunate that there was already a Tableau presence. So we already had a stable infrastructure that was built out by our Tableau server team. So we were able to begin our journey on a solid foundation. So some of our business partners that were already providing analytics were supply chain, financial planning and analysis, decision analytics, and merchandising. When we started out, we were also, when it came to data governance, we had very disparate data. We were finding a lot of the data was on spreadsheets. People were having to send out reports whenever a leader or anyone needed to see those results. And we a lot of times had data that was on our systems that we didn't necessarily have access to, and they weren't connected. So many times the disparate data sources that we had, we also didn't know what was the single source of truth, because there were multiple places or multiple departments that had this data. So as you can imagine, this was not efficient, and our data lacked governance and integrity. So in the beginning, we did start connecting to a lot of the data sources that are already built into Tableau. So it gave us access to data types such as spreadsheets, PDFs, text files, and application databases. And we had one of our teams that we partner with very closely and work in collaboration with, and they set out to build a data lake. So with the data lake, we now have access to cloud data, data about our device management, hardware and software deployments, project tracking, financials, just to name a few. And we are also able to have automatic workflows as well as connect to network devices. So one of the key pieces of information that Michael also gave in his talk was, if you don't have a data lake, don't wait for it to be built. Go ahead and connect to whatever data sources you have and provide that information and provide data analytics to your company. And if you make that decision, or as a data lake is being built, you can always change those data sources later, because it does take some time and you want to be able to provide value to your customers. So don't wait on a data lake to be built. You can start your process. Now, when it came to changing the culture, and we wanted to drive data-driven business decisions. And so we kind of operated off of the model, if you build it, they will come. Because our customers didn't know what services that we had to provide. So we originally did start building dashboards based off of our own IT experiences. And then we found that, of course, people don't know what they don't know. But as we started building out dashboards, as we started showcasing those, the one thing that we did find out is people don't have a problem telling you what they don't like. And that's okay, because it starts the conversation. Then what we did was produce a quarterly communication. And what we want to do with the quarterly communication is, a lot of times we provide dashboards and we create dashboards that other teams now can have access to that data. Sometimes when we create these dashboards, there are teams who approach us and they're like, oh, we didn't know that you guys could do that. Hey, we have this requirement, we have this need. So it definitely got user adoption, and it helped to spread out the service that we can provide throughout our community. When it comes to trying to obtain a sponsor or an advocate, I would say that there's no magic formula, of course, but if you can start providing analytics to where your leaders can see value, if you can provide them information that is readily available at their fingertips, and if you can find a cheerleader, those are some things that can help to speed up the process, to help drive adoption throughout your organization, and it can help make advocacy a little bit easier to obtain. So I want to ask, how many of you have gathered requirements from your users and you've designed out and you've built this dashboard, and in your mind, this is what it looks like? It's a nice, shiny, beautiful sports car, only to deliver, and in your customer's mind, this is what you've given them. So if you remember what I said, that a CEO's first true duty is to understand their customer and their customer experience, because without it, the company is simply guessing. the same holds true for us. So when we're providing a service, when we're providing data analytics for our customers, it's important that we know exactly what it is that they need so that we are delivering value-driven analytics. So now let's take a look at where is the Home Depot, and again, this is my specific team. Where are we in our analytics journey? We are at step number 4. We are building out useful analytics. And again, if we look back at the mission statement that we set out or that we created for ourselves, it was to provide best-in-class information delivery that empowers our customers to achieve strategic objectives by enabling data-driven decisions to enhance their products and services and to drive an exceptional customer experience. So we want to make sure, and we are taking care of our customers, and that we're showing value by delivering analytics that provide value. So on a slight sidebar, there is a data analytics maturity journey that was published by the Data Warehousing Institute. And they said that there are 5 common sense stages, and as you're moving through those stages, you gain more value from your analytics investment. So we are at phase number 4, which is corporate adoption. And the different phases, they start out at nascent, which is a pre-adoption stage. And typically you'll find organizations that are very spreadsheet heavy. You have few people that are interested in data analytics. The next phase, which is pre-adoption, is where the organization is maybe starting to do research. You have people that are starting to attend data analytics seminars, and you may even have a team or 2 that have brought in a BI tool. During early adoption, which is phase number 3, the organization is putting analytics tools and methodologies into place, and this is where most teams spend the most amount of time. Now for us, we are at corporate adoption, where we are at a very major crossover phase, and our analytics are transforming how our organization is making decisions. And then the last phase, which is a maturity visionary, or you're a mature visionary, there are less than 5% of the companies that are doing data analytics that are at this phase. But they are highly tuned, they have a highly tuned infrastructure, they're well governed, and they have data access that is available to users for self-service. So this is where we are trying to go, and this is where we're setting our goals for 2020. We want to move to step 5 in building out a COE, and that is to be able to enable self-service. Now, these are just some things that we have top of mind, and we will pivot if we need to, if we find, because this is new territory for us, so as we find out more information, we will change or we will adjust our goals. But we want to make sure that we are looking at democratizing the data. We want to examine where we still have silos, and we want to evaluate where there are benefits to sharing data. We want to identify a core set of our users and train them as power users so that they can start doing their own self-service analytics. We want to have lunch and learns to teach people and to teach our community even more about data analytics, more about Tableau, and more about the services that we are able to provide. We did kind of borrow the brain dates concept from Tableau. So we want to also implement brain dates so that people can just stop by, and if they have questions or anything that they want to ask us, they will be able to do so. Of course, we will also do customer demos showing off our dashboards, and right now we do have a kiosk. So we have a lot of people who are coming, and we've put out all our dashboards are on our kiosk. So we have a lot of people that are coming, and they're able to see what it is that we offer. So what I would like to do for you now is to actually showcase for you dashboards that my team has been able to create. And what we've, even though we are an IT organization, we have been able to leverage Tableau to think outside of the box and create a very diverse set of dashboards. We have the opportunity, or we're very fortunate that we work for and support our VP of infrastructure. So again, that's why we don't support one specific team. We support a lot, and that has given us the ability to create a vast variety of dashboards that are centered around IT. So when we first started, if you can imagine, we had one project area. So as I said, that we're very diverse and we provide a lot of different types of dashboards. As we started growing, it started becoming confusing. And our customers were like, what do you have to offer? So what we wanted to do, or the use case for this dashboard, and it is a main menu system, but we started out by providing a landing page. And what we wanted to do is ease the process of our users or our customers interfacing with our dashboards and Tableau. So we created this portal look and feel landing page. We provide a featured dashboard section. So this is where we can highlight any new dashboards or any dashboards where we want to kind of influence user adoption. We videotape some tutorial videos so that we guide new users on navigating through Tableau, as well as some of our dashboards are a little bit more complex. We created videos to help guide users through their experience in ingesting those dashboards. We provide user stats where the user can also go and find any dashboards that they have favorited or that they have set up subscriptions for. We have a communication channel so that they can contact us for intake to provide services for them, or if they just have general questions, they can send that to our email. And then the last section that we have is the what's new. So again, it's just any information that we want to relay to our customers, we will put that and highlight in the what's new section. The second part of the main menu, which is a little bit more of the meat or the core of our main menu system, we provided a keyword search function so that users can use keywords to search for all of the dashboard views that we have. We also provide a full scrollable list of all of our dashboard views. We provide, again, another quick access to any favorites that they have created. And the main function that we did was we set up categories so that it categorizes our dashboards so that they know we provide dashboards centered around financials, strategy, demand. And then the last piece is we provide our dashboard view count. Now in the area of service management, this first dashboard, and I'll show you three, is centered around incident tickets. With this dashboard, we provide all of our product owners their SLA measurement. We provide numbers as far as any unassigned tickets, tickets that are currently open. We provide a count of tickets that have been generated by automated systems. We provide the top 10 tickets based off situation type. And we provide we provide the top 10 tickets that have been opened the longest. And then finally, we provide a monthly comparison of tickets across years. Okay, so what are the practical uses though of this dashboard? And what problems does it solve? And what questions does it answer? So this dashboard helps our IT service teams, again, to measure their SLA ratios. It assists our leaders in evaluating service level trends from year over year. So we can see, are we trending up with our tickets? Are we trending down? And likewise, we can also see, are we trending seasonally? Are we seeing something that happens in the spring, that happens in the fall? We are able to also see what types of tickets are being generated by ticket type so that we can look for preventative solutions to reduce tickets. So if we see that we're having a lot of tickets in our batch processing, maybe there's something going on, and this provides insight for our leadership or for our team members to go in and they can see, is there something that they can do maybe to prevent a preventative problem. So the overall goal of this dashboard is to manage and reduce tickets. Now we go a step further. This is still related to service management, but now we were able to, or we created this dashboard to provide departmental metrics. So when we meet with our departments, they can customize dashboards that fit a little bit more of their specific needs. This dashboard also allows the managers to manage the individual at an individual contributor level as well as at the server level. So here is where they can see issues that are going on with servers. So we have a count of the number of issues by server name, and they are also able to look at their specific staff and see where their ticket counts are. So if we look again at practical uses, The practical use of this dashboard is to help identify servers where we have chronic issues that could go unnoticed and potentially cause unplanned outages. Because what we were finding with so many service technicians that we have, and because they're opening and closing tickets, there was no insight to see that, hey, we may have a chronic problem that's going on. So this dashboard allowed us to provide solutions that could possibly lead to root cause. And then the last dashboard that I will show you, that is a service management dashboard. This helps us to manage scheduled changes. So we provide a 7-day outlook so that we can know the total number of changes across the organization that we have coming up in the next 7 days. We highlight where there are changes that are planned, but no one has even started the process or started the approval process. The next section shows where we have where we have changes that are scheduled, but they have not reached the final approval. We provide the details of the changes, and we provide a quick launch to go into the service management application if you need more information about the ticket. So one of the biggest advantages to this dashboard, again, it helps to save from wasting time, or if you have to do coordination and you have not even set your change to be started for the approval process. And we had instances where people had a change scheduled for a particular day and there was no approvals. So a lot of times that's not going to get approved, and you're going to have to reschedule that change. And then most importantly, we want to make sure that we are not implementing any changes that have not reached their final approval. The next dashboard is for our asset inventory management. So, I'm sorry, my notes are missing again. So we'll just go. So the use case for this dashboard is to help manage the distribution and allocation of our enterprise desktop, laptop, and mobile devices. So we're able to see where our devices are distributed by user role or employee role, where our devices are allocated across operating systems, where our devices are allocated across sites. And the practical use for this dashboard is it helps us to automatically report our stored desktop, laptop device information, such as what version all of our devices are on, the latest updates, the purchase date of our devices, and any warranty expiration date. So if you can imagine, if you're manually having to track assets, that can be very time consuming, and because it's manual, it can be prone to a lot of errors. So this dashboard has been very helpful for our leadership. It also helps us to plan the renewal before assets expire, which could help result in lower renewal costs, and it helps our leaders to make informed decisions on when to extend or renew our service contracts. Because sometimes we have found that it is more cost effective, even though devices may be at end of life, to just extend the service contract for those and use those devices a little bit longer. Very similar is the software licensing management dashboard. So again, this dashboard helps us to find instances where we were paying for installed products that our employees weren't even using. It helped us to identify certain software that wasn't required necessarily by a certain role. Like there may be some software that's not necessary for anyone who is filling an administrator or an admin assistant role. It helped us to identify certain candidates that were better used in the cloud as opposed to having the software installed on their devices. It helped us to identify email-only users, and we had instances where people were not even using the product at all and we were paying for it. So this provided us insight for our contract renewal and true-ups. Now, this next set of dashboards are still in development, but these help us to compare our cloud computing costs against the cost of operating on-prem. So what we do with this dashboard, we can track our cloud spend against our budget. We're able to compare against our non-prem computing cost. We can monitor where we're over provisioning our cloud resources. It allows us to even monitor our cloud spend on a daily basis. We can figure out where we have cloud spikes. We can examine our storage costs for comparison against operating on-prem, and we can provide application owners with a tool so they go out, if they're not already on the cloud, and they go out to some of the cloud providers and use their online cost computing calculators. We have provided them the same capability to figure out how much it costs to remain operating on-prem. So the bottom line is that this dashboard helps us to be good stewards and properly compare the cost of computing in the cloud versus computing on-prem. The next dashboard is a balanced scorecard, metrics, and KPI dashboard that we created for our director and senior leadership. So this dashboard provides our leadership with a framework to track and manage their strategic goals and objectives. So what this does, and we refer to this as the morning cup of coffee. So this is a dashboard that our leadership can come into, and they can look and they can see how they're going to do their business for the day. So it allows them to manage their portfolio or look at their portfolio in a single pane of glass. It provides key indicators, and it helps to drive action. The next dashboard that we have is a resource management dashboard. So this helps us to manage our labor spending. We're able to see the amount of associates we have versus contractors. It shows where our allocation is across resource roles. We're able to look at our distribution across departments, and we can also see where our distribution is amongst vendors. We do have on-site vendors who work at the Home Depot. Now, as I had mentioned, or if you remember the slide where I said who we are, which is infrastructure of one, and we have over 19 products and provide over 60 services, this dashboard helps our product owners to know their consumption, so that's the consumption for their services, and it helps them to measure their customer behavior. So the value of this dashboard is they can see their total site visits. They can look at the average duration that users are on the site, first time or new users, the percentage of abandoned visits, and that's just people who come to the site, they don't navigate any further and they leave. And then we can see the top 10 visited sites. So what I want to do right before I wrap up, I'm not going to go into each of these dashboards in detail, but again, I just wanted to, because my overall purpose of this presentation was to just show you how we've been able to think outside of the box and create a lot of different types of dashboards that may not necessarily seem to be IT related. So the first dashboard that we have is for my department, and it's our strategy roadmap. So this dashboard helps us to track our goals, the major steps and milestones for our departmental objectives. There was a survey that went out to all of the product owners, so we created this dashboard to display the results, and this helped for the product owners to know the satisfaction rate of our division, which is infrastructure, and how we are providing our services and delivery. We provide financial TCO and hard cap spending, which is reports on our financial reporting of planned, forecasted, and actual budget spending. We help several teams with project status tracking. And then the last dashboard is a contract management dashboard. So it's similar to the one that we looked at where our asset device management as well as software management. What this dashboard does is it helps to alert when we have contracts that are about to come to the end of expiration. So it alerts for any contracts that have already expired, any expiring within 0 to 3 months, and from 3 to 6 months. So again, this dashboard helps us to be proactive, to be able to negotiate and redo our contracts before. The goal is to do that before they expire. So as a recap and takeaways, we looked at customer service and how important it is for you to know what it is that your customers truly want. We looked at IT as a service, operating as a strategic partner to help the business. We looked at my particular team, which is infrastructure business intelligence. We looked at the steps or the key points to building out a center of excellence. where's the Home Depot or where's my team in our analytics journey. And I have provided a showcase for you guys of value-driven analytics. So in closing, whenever I come to Tableau conference, I like to go to sessions where I can see what other companies or what other people are doing and see where there are things that I can take away and that I can help try to incorporate back at the Home Depot. So I hope that this presentation was inspiring. I hope that you saw maybe some things that you could do. I hope that we showed and demonstrate the way that we have been able to use Tableau to think outside of the box. And I'll say thank you. And I think there's one more slide to ask you to provide a survey of this presentation. And this information definitely helps Tableau to know what kind of sessions you guys really enjoy, what you're interested in, and it helps them for their planning. So at this time, again, I say thank you so much for coming to this presentation. If you have any questions, there is a mic. It is plugged into the headphones. So if you have any questions, I encourage you to come up to the mic and I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. Thank you.